This video is Applications Day 2 in Unit 2, when we've been working on proportionality, linear, writing equations from a table. Okay, first it says Robert's lawn mowing business is going so well that he's decided to buy some CDs with his earnings. He has information about several record clubs and stores. The chart below shows the price for CDs on it from an online club called CDs R Us. Okay, the first thing it's asking is, what is the rate of change? Well, let's remember, what does the rate of change mean? Let's see here. The rate of change, another word for the rate of change, remember, is coefficient. And it is also delta y over delta x, the change in y over the change in x. So right here, delta y, the change in y, is plus 36. The change right here, you can go in your calculator and put the bottom number, 114. Oh, that's 117. 114 minus 66, and press enter. And that's 48. Now I'm going to go over here and do delta x, the change in x, plus 3 and plus 4. Now to do delta y over delta x, this is 36 over 3, that is 12. 48 over 4 is 12. Well, first off, I know that it is linear. Linear meaning it is a line, because I have a consistent rate of change. So each thing is increasing. Every CD I get, the price is going up by $12. See, my rate of change is $12. So what is the initial charge? Because right here, one CD is $12. Well, they have more money. It's costing us more than that here. So I'm going to take 12 times 1. That gives me 12 when I multiply those together. Now you need to see, what do you need to do to 12 to get to 30? Well, one way you can do that is you can take 30 and subtract 12, and you come up with 18. So if you add 18, okay, that's going to equal 30. So right now my equation would be y equals 12x plus 18. So my constant is 18. Now what could this charge represent? If you buy a CD and it's an online club, so maybe the $18 is a shipping fee. Pretty expensive, but it could be. Or maybe it's the fee to join their online club. It could be anything, but it's a one-time charge. Next it says write the function. Okay, well I already did that, but this time it says use C and X. The cost equals 12 times X plus 18. Then it says write the equation in function notation. F of x equals 12x plus 18. That's all it means. We have an equation here, and function notation is right here. Here's the next ones. I think, let's see if that's all those answers, so I don't have to move. Oh no, we do. All right. If you haven't answered these, pause the video and come back and see how you do. Right here it said, if Robert has $200 to spend, which of the following is the appropriate domain? So basically, if I do this by hand, I have 12x plus 18, and if I set it equal to 200, solve for x and see what it is. I know, well, first off, let's talk about this. If domain is the x is the number of CDs. Okay, can you order a half of a CD or 0.3 of a CD? No, you cannot. It is not going to be these. These are saying that they can be decimals and fractions. Okay, we can't have that. Now these are going to be discrete, and I can have 0, 1, 2, 3. But the difference is it's either, this is saying either up to 15 or up to 16. So if I go here and I subtract 18 from each side, and I get 12x equals, let's see, 200, where did we go here, minus 18, it gives me 182, and I divide by 12, So where'd that go? Let's press divide by 12, and I press enter. I get 15.1667. So x equals 15.1667. Well, if I go up to 16, that's going to cost me too much money, because if you take 12 times 16 plus 18, that's going to be over the $200. So the largest amount I can have is 15, so this would be my answer. Now the next thing it says is which part, using this information for part F, which of the following is the appropriate range? Well, let's go in here. I know that the smallest amount when I build a table, if I buy nothing at all at 0, x and y, it starts at 18. Well, it doesn't start at 0, so it's not either one of these. And then my largest x number is 15. Well, go up there, and what is that? We have 12 times 15 plus 18. The largest amount of money we'd spend is $198. That's what's right there. So my answer would be this right here. Okay? Now, the next questions down here, though, are asking you what is the domain of the function. When you're talking about just the function, you're talking about just the equation. That is always all real numbers. Same thing here, range. Remember, range is y, but again it says function. So we have all real numbers. The next question asks us, is the situation linear? Okay, linear means does it make a line? Well, if it makes a line, then delta y over delta x is the same. Well, yes, it's linear, otherwise we couldn't have come up with the equation. Now the next question asked, how much would it cost if Robert decides to buy 11 CDs? We had $12 times 11 plus 18. So I go in here, and let's see here. I'm going to have, let's clear this out. I've got 12 times 11 plus 18. And I'm going to press enter. 150. So it would cost $150. Now we already talked about it. Would the situation be discrete or continuous? It is discrete. Why? Because you can't buy half a CD. You cannot buy half of a CD. Because you cannot buy a half of a CD. Okay, let's try the next one. Right here, let's see if I can move some of this up. If I would take a minute and I would try and answer some of these questions. Oh, those are the only two. Okay. Right here it says another online music store, Musics R Us, charges an initial fee of $12 and 80 cents for each song. Well, first off, to write our equation right here, y equals, I have 80 cents for each song plus an initial charge at $12.50. So now when I go here, I'm going to have 0.80 cents times 12 songs. That's how much they want to see, how much it's going to cost, plus $12.50. So let's go up here, put in there 0.80 times 12 plus $12.50. $22.10. So it's $22.10 because that's what it equals right here. Does a song download situation result in discrete or continuous data? When you download, it's going to be discrete because you're going to download either one song, two songs, okay? So this is going to be discrete. Next, Pause the video and try and figure out what this answer would be. It says the amount of money that John spends on music depends on how many songs he downloads. John has at most $25. Okay, at most. That means the largest amount he has is $25 to spend on music. And each song he downloads costs $1.50. Okay, so which is the domain? The domain is X. The X is going to be the number of downloads. Well, first off, I'm going to eliminate these two. These are continuous functions. I am not going to download 0.333 of a song. Okay, so, and I'm not going to have to pay for just 0.333. So now I'm down to these two. So I have, let's see, if each song is $1.50, let's see. Let's use our answer choices and try and figure this out. What about 16 or 17? If I take $1.50 times 16, let's figure out what that is. And let's take $1.50 times 17. There's other ways you can do this. I'm showing different ways. So I go over here and I have $1.50 times 16. Enter. I'll go ahead and put in there $1.50 times 17. Okay, so we have 24 and then 25.50. 24 and 25.50. It says we have at most $25. Here I'm 50 cents over. So it would be the 16. It would be 0 to 16. Let's see how many more I have here. Okay. All right, we'll move this. Let's see if I can move some of this up to be more helpful for us. Okay. All right. Let's see if this helps. Okay. Now, the top says the graph to the right shows the relationship between time and distance of a runner. Okay, so the first question, now, I would pause the video, try and answer the questions, come back and see if you got them right or not. Letter A says, use the graph to determine the distance the runner has gone after 3 seconds. So you'll go over here to 3 seconds. I would draw my line up to the line and go over. It looks like it's about 4 feet. The next question asks, what does 4, 5 mean? 4 is the X, 5 is the Y. Remember, this is X, then Y. So X is 4, so 4 is your time in seconds, so 4 seconds. This runner is at 5 feet. The runner is at 5 feet. Now, the next question it asks is this function linear? Well, what does linear mean? Linear, look in the word, it means line. Yes, it is. And how do you know? Because it is a straight line. Now, the next question says, is it proportional? Proportional, OO, means it goes through 0, 0. Yes, it starts here at 0, 0. Yes, because it goes through the origin. The next one, it says, which of the following best describes the domain of the situation? Domain, again, domain is X, so it's down here in the time. I would look and make sure I didn't have any Y's that disappeared. Now, these things are saying that these are just whole numbers, that there's a dot at 0, a dot at 1, a dot at 2, and that's not right because this is not discrete. It is continuous, so it's one of these. Now, it either goes out to 10 or to 9. Well, I go the farthest out here that my graph goes to, and actually, neither one of these is correct because the domain is going to go from 0 to 8. See, right here they had 9 and 10, but that line only goes up here to 8. Next, Let me move some of this stuff up so we can put it all together. Okay. So pause the video, see if you can draw your own graph and figure out what this might be. It says draw a graph that represents the total amount earned when Michael earns $4 per hour in tips. Be sure to label the axes and label the and scale the axes. So first off, what do I have? I've got number of hours. And then up here is going to be their total pay. Whoop. All right, there we go. Now I'm just going to go and make this go by ones. Now I know that Michael earns $4 each hour, and it's going to be the same amount going up. So actually I'm going to put, you could either label this by fours or go by ones. If you wanted to go by ones, you can do that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I mean, you could do that by ones, or you could do each line by fours. It doesn't really matter. So now I'm going to come up here, and at 1, he earns $4, so I'll put a dot. At 2, he earns $8. At 3, he earns $12. 4, he earns $16. Now, you could have some discussion to whether or not this was linear, or I mean, if it was continuous or discrete. But if you think about it, oh, I messed up, and it's going to start here at 0, 0. Why? Because when he first works, he doesn't get any money. This is, first off, this is linear because it makes a straight line. The rate of change is the same right here. So this is what makes it linear. Next, it says, is the relationship proportional? Does it start at 0, 0? Yes, it does. So yes, because it starts at 0, 0. Now, when it says, what does 2, 8 represent? Remember, 2 is the x, 8 is the y. So 2 hours, he's going to make $8.